Alright, we're here with Jay-Z, who got top 64 at UK Nats, playing Unchained. Both spent a lot of time on the stack, and yeah, can just get into it.
So we played free Aruha. This is one of the main combo pieces, and it also allows you to extend through hand traps. Then it's the Beckoning Beast Engine. Apparently I only know this combo.
He does.
This obviously gives you two monsters on board, plus it gives you an extra follow-up with the discard.
So essentially, like, the deck was dead for the longest time, but because of this package, it's become a lot more playable again. Find a great square as well. So like, it gives the deck a one-card combo again. That's not just 3 tour guide. Tour guide lines being very fragile now as well. These lines not only give you a one-card combo to play off, but the 2-card combos let you beat more hand traps. And essentially we went into this saying, we don't want the deck that can play 18 hand traps, we want the deck that can beat 18 hand traps and make as many cards in our opponent's deck's blanks. So yeah.
Then it was the Unchained one-offs. All of these serve a purpose. Obviously this allows you to set back mainly the traps, but also allows you to trigger Aruha quite often. Shavara being the best card in the deck. Obviously you can dodge cards with that, and obviously it sets traps or spells. The deck doesn't really play like around Nib, it plays through it, and this is one of the key components of it. Obviously being able to use the graveyard effect to continue playing through Nib. This mainly for OTK lines, and obviously another name on board. This card is crucial. Allows you to play in the damage step and dodge a lot of the effect negation that's in the game at the minute, i.e. Appaloosa. And this card is very good into boards going second.
You also need to play Disaster for your base combos now. So a lot of time you'll be Shyama popping this to summon back Shavara because it's been limited. Some decks would rather play the second Shyama, but I think we prefer the versatility of this card a lot more than having just play a second copy of Shyama.
I really liked all our choices. I don't think I'd change any of that.
Seems good to me. I know nothing about Unchained, so I have no questions to ask.
Understandable.
Oh, I know this card.
Yeah, free
this is a good
plus.
card.
Not only does it allow you to search your one-off power play spells, but it also allows you to search engine. A lot of the time you can use it to set a trap to continue playing from Nib.
So essentially we wanted to go for the board breaker approach because we felt like, Unchained is the best deck at playing Talents and Thrust, which is another reason. So these are the Thrust and Talents package. There's no other deck in the game can play Thrust is better than this deck because we can set engine, obviously.
I was thinking that I didn't really see any other decks on Thrust at the Nationals, so it makes sense.
We just kind of felt like most boards lose to one of these plus our engine, and a lot of boards are breakable in our own engine. They're just not breakable in engine if they have non-engine with it, lack of a better term. So yeah, I don't know. These cards are great going first and second. We didn't want to play a million hand traps because if you're playing 18 hand traps, you might as well just play Snake Eye, and you're never going to beat Snake Eye its own game. If your deck doesn't have the edge or like something different to it, there's not really a reason to play it over Snake Eye. But we thought this deck's edges are one of the best decks ever post side because of Thrust, Prosperity, Talents, and an insane sideboard. But also the versatility going second and the fact it can play these really broken cards better than every other deck.
Lots of edges. Pretty edgy.
Yeah, pretty edgy. Call it triangle. And this was for Mellow and Voiceless, and this was for Snake Eye in terms of the one-off targets.
Makes sense.
The other flex spot was 3 Eclipse. So the reason I think we went for this is because it's good going first and second. Most of the Unchained lists are playing just another board break, like 3 Dark Ruler or 3 Minecon. But this is very versatile going first and second. And it also beats decks like Mellow, Voice, and even into Snake Eye. It's really good at interacting. How was it for you?
I really enjoyed it today. To be honest, I really wanted to play this for Pearly. I thought Pearly was going to be a lot more popular than it was. But I believe only one made top 64. Because obviously you can interact with the trap. Just breaking boards going second. I played against some horrible matchups. Mainly Heroes. Heroes apparently has got a really good Snake Eye matchup, which I can see because of Dark Law. and some of the boards I managed to break through because of this card. I was going to play Pro League for the event. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have lost far more games than I would have Unchained.
It feels really crazy going second in Engine. I think in a format where in a time where the power levels are so high, your deck needs to be able to push through a board, or it's on its own without the non-engine, or you're essentially just playing compare non-engines. Best card in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
If
really
you
say
can
it,
play
right?
And then the Unchained spell traps.
You need to say a lot about these because these cards do not have text for me.
This searches them all. A lot of players play 3 and 3 or just play 3 and 2. This is very good going second, and it's the extra name. So if you open Thrust or something, you can float another name. This is the best one to play through. Pops and pops.
Allows to play around droplets and the Dark Ruler, which is a key part. So obviously a lot of people on board breakers.
Yeah, there's a lot more people on board breakers than we thought. So like the main deck talents and Thrust, well, because everyone's on a million hand traps. But then the engine itself naturally beats breakers. So it did feel like into everything the deck was like super sticky for everyone to like try and cope with.
Makes sense.
Would you have changed anything? The deck's 41 cards.
No, I was pretty happy with anything. Maybe I could have talents to make it 40, but with the amount of bricks we're playing, 41 can be justified.
Okay, onto the extra.
3 Unchained Soul Body Armor. It's the best card. It's the best deck to win the game.
Yeah. I don't know much about Unchained, but I know that this is very good card.
About Armor cards.
Well, Yama is your grind game and also allows you to continue playing. Searches all your key components. Some of the times the combos do go through, and obviously if you do get nibbed, you can use this to continue playing. Most people are playing 2, but I think 3 is necessary just for the grind game that you need. Like sometimes you have to pop your own stuff to play around the board breakers. I don't think I could play anything less than 3 in pure Unchained.
I'm even hesitant to play less than 3 if I'm not playing pure. This card is crazy. Like being able to add from the grave as well means that going turn 3, you have the option to just summon the Anguish, link off into an A-bomb or an access code, which was like a big part of like our going second game plan. One beckoning beast gets you to that Anguish as well, through Yama, and then they've still got to contest the Yama from grave with like Princess and things. So going second, the engine just trades so favourably into Snake Eye. 2 Unchained Solar Rage, an Anguish, and A-bomb. You could play 1 if you wanted to, but I like 2. Sometimes it comes up. The deck can get grindy because you're not playing hand traps. You can have go into like turn 4 or 5 very frequently. Second one comes up sometimes. I know you mentioned you want second one Anguish at some point.
Yeah. For me, second Anguish does come up. The deck's so tight. Like I don't know what else I'd cut for it. Maybe the Typhon. The Typhon didn't really come up for me, but I know Jack ended up taking a lot of the unfavourable matchups. Like, for instance, I didn't play against Branded all day.
There was a lot of Branded in that room as well, so I don't know how you managed to dodge him.
I got all the FTK decks.
How is the Branded matchup for this deck?
We don't talk about that.
Okay. Just straight up don't play against Branded then. It's simple as that.
I think the thing with this deck is, because you're not playing hand traps, you have to accept your losses to the FTK decks or the Grimies, and it's like, alright, you've got silly White Swan piles, you've got Branded, and you've got like Dark Will and crap. Jack got all of them. Yeah, essentially like, it's hard because the deck's hard to play anyway, but sometimes it'll feel like you're playing double the effort in for half the results. But as a meta call, I think beating Mellow, Voice, Snakes,
Tenpai?
Tenpai, that's the one. Tenpai's free.
Okay.
We just don't talk about what happened on the top 64 feature match, but Tenpai's free. So yeah, I think if you're going into expecting the room full of the relevant decks, you're fine. This deck just gets hosed by the non-relevant ones. Branded is the boogeyman for you, essentially.
Yeah.
You've got Droplet in the side, but
Branded lost.
Yeah, essentially the idea was like, there's no point. We can lose to Branded if they don't puppet lock us anyway. So there's no point in trying to put cards in to lose anyway. So might as well just prep for everything else. Unicorn. Sometimes you get feed locked. Gets rid of annoying bodies as well. There's not many flex, but one of the big ones we had in was access code. I'll let you speak about access code for a bit.
The reason we played access codes was to stop floating effects such as Flamberge, so you can use Anguish target Flamberge to link off its access code and they have no chance to trigger it, which does come up very often. Also, stuff like, what's the name of the bestial?
Druid Swim.
Druid Swim. Druid Swim used to be very popular when Unchained was at full power. It still is like a problem for the deck. This just allows you to guard it quite cleanly.
This is it. Like, this is one of the flex spots, but this card felt invaluable all weekend, to be honest. And for me, and I know for Jesse as well.
As came up on my feature match to kill within 2 attacks, which normally this deck can't do. I don't think I'd play it without this.
No, this card was crazy for me all weekend. My personal goat. This card's crazy.
Oh, this is a new guy.
Yeah, this guy's been out since Kashtira format, but.
By new, I mean unplayed.
Yeah. Yeah. This card just says destroy a face-up card you control, and it requires a Fiend monster. That's it. So
fair enough.
Where you do the 1-card combo, push and go in second, end boards with him on to trigger the big link 4. The card's crazy all week.
I remember you mentioned to dodge targeting effects in normal summons as well, right?
Yeah.
Which I didn't do.
Jesse only knows the Beckoning Beast line, but
yeah.
It's all he needs. Nutcracker, standard.
This allows you to extend through nib sometimes. That's the key part.
Disaster target their nib, summon this. This discard a card, summon back the disaster. Shama pop the disaster. Disaster summon back the Shavara. And then you ended on a better board through nib because you got the Wave King, you got the Muckracker now as well. As what you already had. Yeah. The link for Upper. I'll let you Lance go through it now. SP.
Don't need to say anything about SP.
Second best link to in the game. I'll stand by. Wave King.
Now this is one of the best XYZs in the game.
This is the reason to play the deck. This guy's crazy.
Yeah.
This is the reason why the 10-pound matchup is so free, because you can interact with their special summons through the field spell. Obviously just stopping the quick play, stopping the Jundra in hand. Normally it does stop Branded Fusion, unless they open 3 copies of it.
Yeah, that was a rough one, I can't lie. And then Typhon was the last card. Again, flexible. I liked it, but Jizzy,
For me, maybe a second Anguish. Even a second Caesar, like sometimes this is out. Like, this, I love Caesar. It's won me far too many games.
Bias. Yeah.
I think Typhon is probably one of the only ways for you to beat the branded matchup, in all honesty, so it's probably worth
the best option is just not to play against it.
Yeah, legitimately, the best way we have to beat Brandon is
simply don't play
that dice roll.
Right, side deck.
This is the side deck. 3 Forbidden Droplet. Probably one of the best cards going second, and it was our anti-branded strategy.
Pray this and they don't have lost.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, legit, that's it for Branders. There's no point trying to prep for it. We just put it in against everything anyway. There's no point trying to prep for Branded because it's going to win anyway.
These are our power one-offs on the side, so obviously the second Dark Ruler, Duster, Herald of the Abyss, and Evening Match. These are your targets for Frost.
All pretty self-explanatory, to be fair.
Yeah.
This has come out of favour a bit, but I like it into Voiceless, into Mellow, into everything like that.
Yeah, there's not very many Towers decks running around.
Yeah. And like Jesse said, we did think Pele was going to be bigger because it was so cheap now. But yeah, that was nice. I wouldn't cut any of these. These were really nice.
No, I was pretty happy with most of that.
We didn't want to play too many going second cards on the side because we thought, 1, 10 pile make you go first anyway, so we need that to be on point. But also, our deck's really good naturally at going second. Either way, you can side out engine really comfortably for more non-engine going second. So.
But if you do full board plus one of these, then you automatically win. Like, it's almost impossible to lose. Mistaken Arrest. A lot of the decks that meta in this format, they rely on the first search, and sometimes draw isn't enough. This stops the first search as well. Beats Melodious, Snake Eye, stuff like that. Then there's the Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell doesn't need explaining, just one of the best floodgates in the game.
Yeah.
This is the interesting part. 2 trap tracks, D-Barrier and Different Dimension Grant. More people would usually just up the count of D barrier, but obviously this allows us to pivot into either of these. And sometimes if you open one of these, you can just search one of the Unchained traps, like Escape or A-Bomb. Both of those allow you to grind better. You can do cute lines with this, with the Link 4 to trigger the pop as well.
This is like the only deck, I mentioned it before, but I think it's one of the best decks in the game plus side, because we get access, we have Thrust anyway, so it's basically like having 3 Thrust, 3 of this anyway, so you're on 6 copies. But then this being so usable in our engine anyway is like really ridiculous. So it's like having the 3 copies, but 2 of the copies are interruptions as well. So yeah, it did really feel like post side this deck felt really unbeatable. But if you're playing Unchained, it's again another conscious decision that you're going to break sometimes. Like the deck plays a lot of like mandatory cards that aren't optimal to draw. So yeah. What your matchups like?
I actually have it on my notes. Just give me a sec. So round 1 I played against Heroes. Round 2 I played against Runic Stun. I ended up losing that. Round 3 Snake Eye. Round 4 Salad. I believe that Salad played made top 64. Round 5 was unfortunately one of my teammates, Cam. He was on Labyrinth. Round 6 again Heroes. Round 7 Melodious. Very good player. Win the die roll though, so it's good enough.
Sometimes it's all you need.
Yeah. Round 8 against Tempai. I said Tempai is the buy. They make you go first. Round 9 I played against Runic Furhire, which I wasn't expecting.
Runic's not great for us either.
No, it's just you played too many one-offs and hit like my Shavar off the first one. Just like my entire grind game. Round 10 was Snake Eye, that was my draw. And round 11 was Tempai, which was...
So what score did you get to get into top 64?
So it was 9...
X2-1.
X2-1.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously we saw my top 64 where I threw the game.
Yeah, so if you want to see how this deck is, like how to not play this deck.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it.
No, to be fair, he played well, it just like a handful of mistakes here and there.
So if people have to get to top code, that's what matters.
It's just
You dodged the feature match all day,
Yeah.
and then they forced you to have a feature match in top 64. Sometimes that's all that it'll do it.
Unironically though, if I don't get featured, I think I do go all the way.
Yeah, man, honestly.
Like, especially if Jack's on the deck. Like I said, Jack's just...
Stop. No.
He was just extremely unfortunate today. He is the better Unchained player, but...
Well, sometimes you just have to play against 2 hero decks, and then you can top 64.
So unironically, the worst matchup in the world for
Hero's
us.
actually awful. It's just I opened Cracked with Book of Eclipse.
Yeah.
And then against the other one I opened Evenly Matched.
Damn.
I think, we both made day 2. Lost my last one to Branded. It was a rough one. Nice in the roll, but triple Branded Fusion will stop a double negating Wave King.
Yeah.
And that sort of basically knocked me out. But yeah, the deck feels insane, but it is that thing of it's really hard to play for one. JC's done insane to learn it in like the 3-week chance he had. And it does just have insta losses, so you kind of got to know what your room's going to be before you go in, essentially. And Jay-Z got the room that we were expecting, and I did not. So that's the kind of toss-up thing, and it's so you got to play optimally at all times, and again it does come down to a bit of luck with your matchups.
Fair enough. Overall, good showing. Top 64 at Nationals. Yeah, good showing for Team Schism overall. We got two members in top 64.
Yeah, Sam ended up getting top 64 with Snake Eye. I'm sure you guys can watch that as well. Very interesting list.
Shout out Kung Fu Panda.
Shout out Kung Fu Panda. I think now it's just shout outs, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, shout outs to all the guys in Team Schism. Without them, probably wouldn't have done as well as I did. Jack ended up writing me a 32-page love letter to Unchained.
The document will be for sale on teamschism.com.
The document.
Use code Jay-Z for 5% off. Shout outs to the guys that borrowed me cards. Craig Flint, I think the majority of the Unchained deck was his.
Cheer Whitehead for the Appaloosa and the Abyss Actor.
Mr. Bounds for the Mistaken Arrest.
What else?
I think that was.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Nobody else helped. Scumbags. If we had other people helping, it might have made top 32. Who knows?
That's it. We'll blend that next time. Next time.
Yeah.
And then a shout out to my girlfriend back home, Fern. She's one of the main reasons I came back to the game. I appreciate her. I think that's it.
Well, hopefully this video lives well through that. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. That's been the top 64 deck profile for Unchained by Jay-Z.